A president's first 100 days is viewed as the time when the president will address the expectations of his presidency by setting forth an agenda that will shape the political and social landscape for the next 4 years. This congressional honeymoon is when Congress is more likely to approve a new administration's policies. This artificial target was initiated in 1933 under Franklin Roosevelt's first administration. The calamitous situation of the Great Depression led to dwindling life savings, record loss of business capital, with at least 1/4 of the nation's workers unemployed. Roosevelt's priorities were depression relief, aid to farmers, and financial reform.
Most vital to our present and to our future is this experience of a democracy which successfully survived crisis at home, put away many evil things, built new structures on enduring lines, and through it all maintained the fact of its democracy.
In 2009, our nation's 44th president, Barack Hussein Obama, faces similar threats: a quickly deteriorating middle class, the failure of the U.S. banking system, record home foreclosures and unemployment, an energy crisis, and a failing healthcare system. During this crisis, his priorities are to end the economic crisis, healthcare reform, universal healthcare, and tax cuts for the middle class.
And I think that even our critics would agree that, at the very least, we've been busy. In just under 3 months, we've responded to an extraordinary set of economic challenges with extraordinary action. Action that's been unprecedented, both in terms of its scale and its speed. And I know that some have accused us of taking on too much at once. Others believe we haven't done enough. And many Americans are simply wondering how all of our different programs and policies fit together in a single overarching strategy that will move this economy from recession to recovery and ultimately to prosperity. So today, I want to step back for a moment and explain our strategy as clearly as I can. This is going to be prose and not poetry. I want to talk about what we've done, why we've done it, and what we have left to do. I want to update you on the progress we've made, but I also want to be honest about the pitfalls that may still lie ahead. Most of all, I want every American to know that each action we take and each policy we pursue is driven by a larger vision of America's future. A future where sustained economic growth creates good jobs and rising incomes. A future where prosperity is fueled not by excessive debt or reckless speculation or fleeting profits, but is instead built by skilled, productive workers, by sound investments that will spread opportunity at home and allow this nation to lead the world in the technologies and the innovation and discovery.
Two years ago, we set out on a journey to change the way that Washington works. We sought a government that served not the interests of the powerful lobbyists or the wealthiest few, but the middle-class Americans I met every day in every community along the campaign trail. Responsible men and women who are working harder than ever, worrying about their jobs, and struggling to raise their families. In so many town halls and backyards, they spoke of their hopes for a government that finally confronts the challenges that their families face every day. A government that treats their tax dollars as responsibly as they treat their own hard-earned paychecks. That's the change I promised as candidate for president. It is the change the American people voted for in November. And it is the change represented by the budget I sent to Congress this week. During the campaign, I promised a fair and balanced tax code that would cut taxes for 95% of working Americans roll back the tax breaks for those making over $250,000 a year, and end the tax breaks for corporations that ship our jobs overseas. This budget does that. I promised an economy run on clean, renewable energy that will create new American jobs, new American industries, and free us from the dangerous grip of foreign oil. This budget puts us on that path through a market-based cap on carbon pollution that will make renewable energy the profitable kind of energy, through investments in wind power and solar power, advanced biofuels, clean coal, and more fuel-efficient American cars and American trucks. I promised to bring down the crushing cost of healthcare, a cost that bankrupts one American every 30 seconds, forces small businesses to close their doors, and saddles our government with more debt. This budget keeps that promise, with a historic commitment to reform that will lead to lower costs and quality, affordable health care for every American. I promised an education system that will prepare every American to compete, so Americans can win in a global economy. This budget will help us meet that goal, with new incentives for teacher performance and pathways for advancement, new tax credits that will make college more affordable for all who want to go, and new support to ensure that those who do go finish their degree. This budget also reflects the stark reality of what we've inherited: a $1 trillion deficit, a financial crisis, and a costly recession.
April 29th was the 100th day of Obama's presidency. How much closer is he to the restoration of the American dream? Or must we redefine it in the face of our new challenges? The resilience of the Western civilization is called into question.